a rise from the current level of around $12,000. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the tax breaks will not apply for the wealthiest Canadians, but average families will save up to $600 a year. We know that supporting Canadians, investing in the economy, and lowering taxes for people who need it is the way to continue serving this great country into the future. This motion will be a confidence test, meaning if the government doesn't get the support of one of the opposition parties, it will fall. On the state of the economy, the Liberals are planning to release their fiscal update before Christmas. Cormac,
you told me the government could fall that they just got fucking elected?
680 News Time, 339. Got to buy new equipment from
How could we do that last time?
My online sales. I wish I could expand my team.
I want to see my business move forward.
Things can move fast when you're in business. And at BDC, we understand entrepreneurs.
This is not a drug. This is a flower. This is a drug.
You could quickly make your project a reality. Go to bdc.ca/online loan. Apply in minutes and get up to $100,000 in 48 hours of approval. Apply now at bdc.ca/online loan.
On streets, you're down to a single lane between Lakeshore and Bremner for construction. It's slow southbound coming off University from Adelaide, and in Schomberg, Highway 9 closed from Highway 27 to Leonard Road, and that's because of a fire. City Streets was brought to you by the Spa at the Old Mill. 'Tis the season to treat someone special with a gift card to the Spa at the Old Mill. And why not treat yourself with a relaxing stay? Visit oldmilltoronto.com. Now the 680 News gas price update. Emperor predicting the price will not change at midnight. We should stay at just under $1.16 a liter, most GTA stations.
680 News Time, 340.
If I told you there are as many as 2,000 homeless youth in our city each night, would you care?
More than that.
What if I told you most of them have suffered from abuse and neglect?
I guess maybe only on each, like on each individual night, that might be how many there are.
At home. Now, do you care? What if I told you I really need your help? How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca to donate.
It's a beautiful time of year. Stop and appreciate how fortunate we are. Thank you so much to our customers for helping us grow since 1963. I'm Dominic Pinucci, and on behalf of all of us at Pizza Nova, buon Natale a tutti.
News Time, 341.
Traffic and weather together on the What's Here Security Francis. This report is brought to you by Young Drivers of Canada. We have a few new problems on the major routes. Southbound on the 404, approaching 16th Avenue. Only the left lane is getting through right now because of a crash. Emergency crews are on the scene, and the southbound 404 is really jammed as you're approaching Major Mackenzie to approaching 16th Avenue. And I'm just looking at that camera now. At the moment, everything is blocked right now. No traffic getting through. This probably is just a temporary closure, but we'll be keeping you posted. It's really foggy in this area as well. Areas to the north, so that's going to be affecting the 400, that thick fog as well. Make sure that you have your full headlighting system on. Another new problem, northbound on the 410, approaching Clark, the two right lanes are blocked with a collision. Traffic is jammed into Brampton from the 407 to approaching Clark. A minor issue, eastbound on the 401, approaching Victoria Park and the Collectors. There's a collision on the left shoulder. That's only going to add to delays eastbound 401. Still going from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario. Then delays start again around the 427 all the way to Victoria Park, and the Express continues busy to Kennedy and the Collectors. And if you're heading into the Durham region, expect delays from Liverpool, Express and Collectors on and off to east of Ritson. Eastbound 409, that's backed up as you approach Martin Grove onto the 401 ramps. If you're traveling the eastbound QEW, it's getting busy through Burloak. Another delay Mississauga Road to Dixie. Eastbound Gardner, that's typically busy from Spadina to Cherry. And a slow go northbound on the DVP from Gerrard to north of Lawrence. Northbound 404 is filling in quickly from north of Steeles up to Major Mackenzie. Westbound 401, expect delays from McCowan, alternately Express and Collectors to Dixon. Young Drivers of Canada, join a Winter Express or Defensive driving course today with Canada's leading driving school. Visit yd.com.
A bunch of shootings and stabbings you're not talking about on the radio.
And now with the forecast, here's Natasha Reza.
Back into the winter weeks tomorrow, in case you're wearing a sort of lighter gear today. Now, temperatures tonight rising to 9 degrees by about 3 in the morning, but then we're going to start falling through the day. And by this time tomorrow, we'll be back down to -1, wind chill -7. So isolated showers tonight, windy conditions as well. And it looks like those showers are going to switch into lake effect flurries for Toronto, but snow and accumulating snow up to the north. We've got some snow squall watches posted to the north of us, including northern York, Durham. Most intense bands will be Tuesday evening and overnight. Wednesday, still some on and off flurries, windy conditions out of the west to southwest, and cold below seasonal now at -2, wind chill -9. Overnight tonight, we are rising to 9 degrees by about 3 o'clock in the morning. It is currently 6 degrees at Pearson.
6 City News Time, 3:43.
Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute to the Business Center. Here's Richard Sussman.
So, Janet, coming up on the end of the trading day, just 15 or so minutes to go. It looks like it's going to be a money loser, but nothing to fret too much about. Most of the banks are down anywhere from 1/4% to 1/3%. TSX falls 49 points to 16,947. Dow slips 84 down to 27,931. S&P 500 down 4 points. The Nasdaq down 24. The Canadian dollar moving up to 75.6 cents US. That's your market minute. This is 680 News.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20. Enjoy a great big winter welcome in New York City. Seize the season with Porter Airlines and a special offer called NYC Winter Outing. This offer includes 2-for-1 tickets to top attractions and Broadway shows, plus prefix deals at the best restaurants. Make it happen January 21 through February 9 by booking your flight to New York City with Porter Airlines. Visit flyporter.com/NY. Porter, flying refined.
Canada Computers is headed back to North York. Saturday, celebrate the grand opening of their new location at Centerpoint Mall. Door crasher specials, featured deals, on-site activities, lucky draw prizes valued up to $500, free snacks and drinks. And all the top names like Asus, Razer, Logitech, Corsair, and more. Go Saturday for the party or visit all weekend long for deals and specials. The grand opening of Canada Computers in North York at Yonge & Steeles, a proud Canadian company since 1991. CanadaComputers.com.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Rain in downtown Toronto and 7 degrees. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Sljana Timinzik.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what's making news right now.
The city's Board of Health now turning to the provincial and federal governments to help them ban vaping in public areas. It's still not safe. The commission off the coast of New Zealand erupted earlier today, killing at least 5 people. Officials say 8 people are missing, presumed to be dead. And coming up after sports, a tech giant tries out the 4-day work week and says it's not bad.
Time now for 680
Just
Sports.
work as many days. Can you just put them to work whatever days you want them there?
And it's legit that the Blue March has been around for 83 years, and today was the first time a tennis player took the honors. Bianca Andreescu capping an incredible year by being named Canadian Athlete of the Year. Her overall record in 2019, 48-7, which included wins at the U.S. Open, Rogers Cup, and Indian Wells. She also earned $6.5 million American. Well, the World Series champions have made the first big move of the winter meetings. The Washington Nationals will be re-signing Steven Strasburg, $245 million over 7 years, and that comes with a full no-trade clause. Meanwhile, Shai Davidi believes the Blue Jays are intent on making a run to sign the left-hander Hyunjin Ryu. Raptors could have Fred VanVleet tonight in Chicago. He is questionable with a bruised right knee. Sportsnet will have it at 8. Maple Leafs should take the practice ice in Vancouver at the top of the hour. They take on the Canucks tomorrow, and Monday nighter has the Eagles at the Giants. Eli Manning will start for the injured Daniel Jones. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 3:47. The accolades continue for Don Alfonso 1890 Toronto. The esteemed restaurant has been named the second best Italian restaurant in the world by 50
Toronto
top
police
Italy.
officer charged for allegedly doing something to a suspect.
I want to congratulate 3-star Michelin chef Alfonso Iacarino and the entire team at Don Alfonso for receiving such an incredible international honor. We look forward to continuing to provide exceptional dining experiences here in Toronto.
To find out more, visit DonAlfonsoToronto.com.
Every morning, you get in your car. What's the first thing you do? That's right, tune into your favorite station. Well, guess what? You're not alone. People are listening to radio.
Ain't it already be on your favorite station?
The thing is, they're not just people. They're friends, neighbors, and your potential customers. They're listening, just like you are now. And that means they could be hearing about your business. Advertise with radio.
I don't want them to know my business unless I share it with them.
Visit RogersMedia.com/radio.
680 News Time, 348.
Microsoft says it did a test of a 4-day work week and they saw a significant rise in productivity.
As part of its so-called Work-Life Choice Challenge, Microsoft Japan closed its offices all 5 Fridays in August, but paid its employees for a full 40-hour week. Managers reported a nearly 40% rise in productivity compared with August 2018. Previous experiments with a 32-hour work week found people more energized after a 3-day weekend and feeling compelled to get more done during their 4 days on the job. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
680 News Time, 348. An automaker is facing charges for allegedly importing cars into Canada that company executives knew were violating emission standards. 680's Carl Garnish explains.
Well, isn't that kind of like drug smuggling or gun smuggling or anything else?
For reportedly violating the Canadian Environmental Protection Act after bringing around 128,000 cars into the country with illegal emissions between 2008 and 2015. The German automaker is also facing another 2 charges for providing misleading information. The case in Canada comes more than 4 years after Volkswagen admitted to installing software on 11 million cars worldwide to trick emission testing equipment into concluding that the cars ran more cleanly than they actually did. The company did plead guilty to the charges in the case for the U.S. in March of 2017 and was slapped with a fine of more than $4.3 billion.
Holy
Volkswagen's
man.
first court appearance on the Canadian charges.
That's bad economics right there, man.
I'm Carl Garnash.
I keep trying to light this and
Traffic
roll
and weather
another one.
together next.
680 News Time, 350.
Whether you're at home or at the office, sometimes the holidays.
I don't understand how people can get a license to print money. You're a car company. You're a medical marijuana supplier. You have a license from the government to print money. And they still got to break the rules and try and get away with more shit. Like, did they just say 4.5 billion? Man? That's how much this fucking pipeline
We
costs.
cater to life's demands. So this holiday season, let the Pickle Barrel cater to yours. From finger painting to times tables, school's the start of a journey that can take kids anywhere.
Man.
Our education system needs to evolve to reflect
There's a
this
lot of
journey,
$100
to prepare
bills,
kids
man.
for the future, their future. So we're updating it to give kids the tools they need to support positive mental health, develop real life skills, and prepare for what's next. So they're ready to rise to every test, during school and after. Learn how the government is improving your child's educational journey at ontario.ca/education for tomorrow. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
680 News Time, 351.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Gary Francis. This report is brought to you by Public Mobile. We have big problems on the southbound 404 approaching 16th Avenue. The 2 right lanes and the ramp lane are blocked with a collision. Traffic spotters say one of the vehicles
They
is
used
on
to
its
tell
side.
us what kind of
Watch out for
cars
a lot
it
of
was.
debris across the roadway as well. And southbound on the 404, it is now jammed solid from just south of Elgin Mills to approaching 16th Avenue. Plan an alternate route. Anything's going to be more lightly traveled, but be aware of very thick fog in this area around the 404 and 16th and to the north of that as well. It's affecting the 400. Traffic spotters say anywhere between Teston and Aurora Road, you're into reduced visibility. Natasha is standing by with more details. Now, in terms of delays northbound on the Don Valley Parkway 404, it's busy from approaching Bloor to north of Lawrence and very heavy from Steeles up to Major Mackenzie. That southbound issue is really slowing things down on the northbound side as well, and that fog not helping matters. Northbound on the 400, expect delays approaching Shepherd up to Steeles. Slows again just north of Highway 7 to Teston. Westbound on the 401, that's busy from McCowan, alternately express and collectors all the way across to Dixon. That slows again from the 427 towards Dixie and the collectors. Then it's busy from about the 410 and the collectors to west of Trafalgar. A minor delay through Highway 25. Eastbound on the 401, that's backed up from Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario. Then a slow go across the city from the 427 to Victoria Park and the Express. Delays all the way to Kennedy and the collectors. Ongoing problems into Brampton on the northbound 410 approaching Clark. 2 right lanes are blocked with a collision. Traffic is jammed from the 407. If you're heading eastbound on the QEW, that's busy approaching Appleby to east of Burloak. Slows again approaching Mississauga Road to Dixie. Public Mobile is giving you more rewards with your phone plan this holiday. For a limited time, get free data, free international calling, and more. More is merrier with Public Mobile. And now with the forecast, Natasha, you've been mentioning that this fog is expected to continue until well into the evening.
Fog.
Yeah, not until about 11 p.m. to midnight when the wind starts to pick up. It'll start to dissipate, and it's going to do so from west to east. So if you're out through Durham, it's going to hang in a little longer. By morning of the morning commute, we should be done with the fog. But we have so many elements in this 48-hour forecast. You really got to pay attention. So tonight it's the fog. The other thing is temperatures are rising to 9 degrees by 3 o'clock in the morning. But the big deal tomorrow is temperatures falling through the day. By the time you're heading home, this time tomorrow will be down to -2, wind chill -8. So that means morning showers.
That's an 18-degree difference,
lake effect flurries, and then snow squalls possible as we head into Tuesday evening off to the north of us, northern York, Durham, into the snow squall watch. Potentially 5 to 10, even up to 15 centimeters of snow on the way, again, especially off to the north. And it looks like flurries are going to continue on and off on Wednesday. Bundle up for morning wind chills near -13. It'll be on and off flurries through the day. Windy conditions with a high of -2, and then Thursday, partly cloudy, but still seasonal at -3, feeling like -7. Tonight, we are rising to 9 degrees by 3 a.m. and falling to 2 degrees by morning. It is now 6 degrees at Pearson.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Cold Drops. One drop for temporary relief of sore throat and
the weather, maybe it's worse in some senses where you are, but the weather here is fucking random as fuck.
Coming up at 4, Toronto is a step forward to ban vaping in public spaces, and the province's Elementary Teachers Federation gets set to begin the next phase of its Work to Rule campaign.
680 News Time, 3:54.
Why the fuck did you, what am I doing here?
Live on stage.
Get the fuck out of here, man. You're not cooperating with me one bit.
This breathtaking magic spectacular showcases the jaw-dropping talents of the most incredible illusionists on Earth. See them before they disappear. The Illusionist Magic of the Holidays. Coming to Toronto from January 1st through 5th only. Book at meridianhall.com.
Type ha ha. Fuck that. Tap tap. Ha ha.
Making your smart speaker even smarter.
Hey Google, play 680 News.
Playing 680 News.
680 News Time, 3:54. A Toronto police officer with 11 years on the job is facing assault charges, accused of using excessive force while arresting a break-and-enter suspect. It's alleged that 51-year-old Constable Murdad Mamodian tased a suspect 3 times and kicked him after the suspect had already surrendered and had been in handcuffs.
Other people got away, so he beat up the kid that surrendered. What is wrong with your logic, bro?
Charged with assault with a weapon, assault, and attempting to obstruct justice. He's based out of 53 Division and is set to appear in court in January. Business is next.
680 News Time, 3:55.
Joker, a meteor set to collide with our west coast in mere minutes. What do we do? Not to worry, Governor. I will simply fly around the Earth fast enough to reverse our polarity and turn back time. Joker away! You've only taken 3 steps. Here I go. You're basically standing still. Can the Toka help innocent citizens breathe easier? Probably not. Find out why at thetokaonline.ca.
The best gift ever just got better at Mercedes-Benz Toronto retail stores. From now until December 24th, finance 2015 to 18 certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz models from 0.99% for up to 60 months and receive 3 monthly payments on us. Decorate your driveway and light up the neighborhood this holiday season with your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz model, certified to the same standard to which they were built. Hurry into your local Mercedes-Benz Toronto retail store or visit mdtoronto.ca.
What if I want something better than what you did? Okay, maybe I'm being 50.
News Time, 3:56.
Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Richard.
Well, Jana, the world's largest private collection of Scotch whiskey is about to hit the auction block, and experts say it could bring in a whopping $10.5 million. The collection includes 3,900 bottles, primarily single malt Scotch. It was amassed by the late Richard Gooding, who was a private American collector from Colorado. He spent decades pursuing his perfect drink collection. He traveled regularly to Scotland in search of rare bottles. Experts call it the perfect whiskey collection. There are a number of high-profile bottles, like a 1926 Macallan's. But there's also bottles from a wider range of distilleries, many that are no longer open anymore. The auction house says the collection provides a fascinating insight into one man's ambition and dedication to one of his great loves. Pretty cool. Probably no reason to celebrate with a drink after today's trading session. Got some Reddit right across the board here. with just minutes left in the trading day. TSX is down 48 points. 16,948. Some of the biggest laggers include uranium producer Cameco, down 7% to $12.07. Turquoise Hill Resources, out of the resource space, also down 5%. To the upside, it's Canopy Growth, Canada's biggest cannabis producer, gaining 14.25% here late day on news that its biggest investor, Constellation Brands, is appointing its chief financial officer to be the new CEO of Canopy Growth. And this has triggered an uptick for a lot of the cannabis stocks. XO gains 8.4%. Aurora is up 8% at $3.47.
Well, remember, they're down like 50% and shit somewhere.
To the downside,
over the last 90 days.
S&P dropped 7, the NASDAQ down 31. Former U.S. Fed Reserve Chairman Paul Volcker has passed away at age 92. He took over as the head of the U.S. Central Bank in 1979 when the U.S. economy was sputtering, dealing with runaway inflation. He triggered a recession when he pushed interest rates in the States to historic highs. Got a lot of pushback from the public on that, but his actions eventually did lead to lower inflation and a rebound for the American economy. Time now for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. The yellow metal, little change, down 10 cents, $1,465. Canadian dollar up 75.6 cents US. This is 680 News.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant. Our Kids Club features a dedicated check-in counter.
That's one story I don't have to read.
Priority baggage handling, and a giraffe. Ask your parents, sweetie. Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
Fucking hell, I can't type this shit or something, man.
Okay, stop. For the best appliance deal ever, come into Gomez today. You'll save up to 25% on all Eco appliances. Yep, that's 25% off on top of manufacturer rebates and promotions. Pricing on most Bosch dishwashers are lower than, well, they've ever been. Energy savings rebate by the Government of Canada. Visit Gomez.com for details.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant, inviting all passengers to
It's
fly
going to be
with their
short
own
because I
personal
cannot type.
celebrity chef.
Apparently.
Treat yourself on all our flights to our gourmet menu by Danielle Vezina. Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
Checking the 680 News regional weather conditions in Mississauga. Some rain reported. Still 3 degrees. Oakville rain and 4. Downtown
Some rain
Toronto,
report. What do you
we
mean?
have rain and 7 degrees.
Everywhere there's been
680
some rain
4 o'clock.
reported. How much is some? Like, what, a millimeter? Like, does that count? Is there a minimum?
Here are James Monroe and Slijana Tominzik.
Good afternoon. It's Monday, December 9th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
Top of the hour.
Tensions high between the province and Ontario teachers. A Work to Rule campaign intensifies tomorrow at elementary schools.
This is not your
Public
top
high school
story.
teachers
No.
preparing for another one-day strike.
Toronto's Board of Health is all in for tougher vaping regulations. But to make it happen, the city needs provincial and federal government help.
Snow squall watch is in effect for parts of northern York and Durham regions. 15 centimeters possible tomorrow in some areas. Full traffic and weather in seconds.
Bianca Andreescu has won the Lou Marsh Award. Raptors are in Chicago tonight. Nationals will be re-signing Steven Strasburg. Sports at 15.
There's the closing bell, and it's a Monday downturn. Dow falls 105, TSX down 46, business at 26.
But they reopen again for after-hours trading. They don't talk about
This
that.
report brought to you by Marquee Jewelers. We still got big problems in the 404 southbound. This is just as you approach 16th Avenue, where 2 right lanes in the ramp lane are blocked. Traffic spotter says a vehicle is on its side here. And we've got lots of emergency crews on scene and heavy fog in the area. That goes for patchy fog around the GTA. So just make sure your
That happens here.
headlights are working and you're.
I didn't see any today, but I believe it. I've walked through that shit.
Jammed up now from Elgin Mills down to 16th because of this problem. If you're traveling out of downtown, major routes are busy. North
I've driven
DVP,
it.
heavy
It's
blur
not
to the
nice.
401. And then the 404 slow steals up towards 16th Avenue with traffic slowing to look at the southbound issue past 16th. You're in pretty good shape. And we've got westbound Gardner delays. DVP off and on to the 427 with only a short break by the X grounds. And still problems on the 410 north. Approaching Clark, 2 right lanes are blocked for the crash. It's heavy from Derry. As far as the 401 goes, just lots of volume. Westbound Kennedy alternately express and collectors to Dixon. Now from west to the 410 Express and Collectors to about Jamestown Parkway. East 401 busy Winston Churchill to Huron, Ontario. Through Dixie and the Collectors. Then 427 alternately Express and Collectors to Kennedy. And approaching Liverpool Express and Collectors to east of Ritson Road. Get into the Christmas spirit at Marquee Jewelers. Score great deals on fine jewelry while supplies last. Don't miss out. 2 Bloor Street West at Yonge. Your next report at 4:11, and with the forecast, meteorologist Natasha Ranzai.
Yeah, that fog is going to intensify here over the next few hours. Not really starting to dissipate until closer to 11 p.m. or so when the wind starts to pick up.
Hey,
we
wait.
will be gusting 40 to 50 kilometers per hour overnight.
Motherfucker.
That's going to help bump those temperatures up to 9 degrees at 3 in the morning. Please don't dress for 9 because we will be falling through the day by the drive home. And when the kids are coming home, we'll be down to about -1, wind chill -7 in the afternoon.
No, you said motherfucking 8 or 9 or some shit 10 minutes ago.
Throughout the afternoon could impact that drive home for parts of the GTA. Snow squall watches have been hoisted to the north of us. Overnight tonight, we are rising to 9 degrees by just after midnight. It is now 6 degrees at Pearson.
680 News Time, 4:03.
Well, the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario is set to begin phase 2 of its Work to Rule campaign tomorrow.
680's Caitlin Lee joins us live now with what that means for parents and students. Caitlin.
Yeah, both sides seem to be daring the other to budge. Tensions high in question period today as the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario enters phase 2 of its Work to Rule campaign. As of tomorrow, teachers will no longer be planning field trips, collecting money for school activities, except charity, and letters will not be
Isn't
sent
it all
home.
fucking shit?
Wednesday, the Toronto District School Board, one of the schools taking part is the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, stages another one-day walkout. Education Minister Stephen Lecce maintains the big issue here is salary, while teachers' unions say those aren't the biggest problems with the offers they're getting. NDP education critic Merritt Stiles says the province has to step up, especially when it comes to the OSSTF.
Premier has a clear opportunity right now to de-escalate this conflict and maintain quality education. Will he admit these reckless cuts were poorly planned and reverse his plans for larger classes and mandatory online learning?
But Lecce says they've already made concessions.
What unites parents is that they oppose escalation. They want their kids in class on Wednesday. This government agrees. I'm calling on OSSTF
They spend more money arguing over the money they're going to spend.
And again, as of now, the ETFO stepping up their Work to Rule campaign tomorrow, and the OSSTF staging a one-day walkout Wednesday. Reporting live, I'm Caitlin Lee.
680 News Time 4:05. The Toronto Board of Health is ready to impose stricter rules for vaping, but it needs help from 2 levels of government. 680's Momo Qureshi joins us with the latest moves to bring Toronto in line with other cities in the GTA when it comes to how vaping is regulated.
It's all thumbs up from the Board of Health approving calls for major changes to the rules for vaping, pushing for it to be treated more like tobacco, including banning all vaping advertising, banning the sale of flavored vapes, and restricting where it can be sold.
So for all this time, I could have been selling pure nicotine in a bottle, and there was no rules about that. I didn't fucking know that. I would have been doing that. I would have figured out how to do this.
Need to step up.
In order to mitigate the negative health impact that they have, really does rest largely with our provincial counterparts and with the federal government as well.
She's optimistic those changes could be coming soon.
I think we are seeing more and more momentum and more movement in that direction.
At City Hall, I'm Momo Qureshi.
680 News Time 4:06. For the first time, the Lou Marsh Trophy for Canada's Athlete of the Year has been awarded to a tennis player.
This year's field was as deep as we've seen in years, and it was still a blowout. Bianca Andreescu won the Lou Marsh in a unanimous vote, and among the things she did this year, become the first Canadian to win a Grand Slam, become the first Canadian in 50 years to win the Rogers Cup. She went 48-7, including going 8-0 against top 10 opponents, and yes, she also earned more than $6.5 million American, and is ranked 5th in the world. And she did all of that despite nagging injuries to her knee and her shoulder. Jordan Binnington, Mike Soroka, Andre DeGrasse, and Brooke Henderson were among the 5 finalists, but this year there wasn't need for much discussion. From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, I'm Alex Xero.
680 News Time 4:07. Of course, phone calls from scammers are becoming a regular occurrence, and today the CRTC announced that more is going to be done to hang up on those unwanted calls.
For some of us, calls like this are a daily occurrence.
This is the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA. There is a legal
They played another recording that sounded like my recording. Technically, I own that
For some
recording.
of those scam calls, the call display looks legit. Even some police agencies have had their numbers spoofed. The CRTC says more steps are being taken to fight this and also find where those annoying calls are coming from. The agency says the new framework will let service providers certify whether a caller's identity is legit.
It's expected to kick in at the end of next September. It's estimated that Canadians have already lost millions of dollars to scam artists who use computer programs to spoof legitimate telephone numbers. I'm Irene Precklett. 680 News Time 407. This portion of the news brought to you by XOOM Zoom. Brand new roads opened up today in Durham region, making it easier to get to and from the GTA for many commuters, but both routes come with a price. 680's Cam Dorr joins us with word the NDP is trying to remove some tolls.
In a statement back in June of 2018, the PC party made it a priority to remove tolls from Highway 412 and its soon-to-be constructed Highway 418. But after the 418 opened up, along with the new extension on the 407, Durham drivers are still paying to get in and out of the GTA. Jennifer French is the NDP.
Welcome to Ontario.
Says she's introducing a new bill in June to try and remove tolls from the 418 and 412.
Who knows? You know, the government could actually listen to the folks and realize it's not fair to the people of Durham region that they had made this commitment, and maybe the issue will be resolved.
Like,
right now,
Highway 418,
which connects the 401 to the 407, costs just over $4 with the transponder each way. I'm Cam Dorrit.
And no Canadians are listed among the dead and missing after a volcanic eruption off New Zealand. Police are confirming 5 people are dead, 8 still missing, 31 are still in hospital. The situation too dangerous for rescuers to attempt to land on White Island, although police say aerial searches have failed to turn up any signs of survivors. Coming up in 30 seconds, latest problems on the streets. We'll track gas.
The latest problems on the streets.
Santa knows
you should maybe say road.
Traffic and weather in Toronto.
To you?
Traffic
No, that'd be the same thing, wouldn't it?
Always on the ones. Right. This is 680 News.
Did you know there's a fast way to send money abroad? It's called Zoom. XOOM. Zoom. The money transfer app from PayPal that lets you send money abroad fast at amazing rates. Send money directly to bank accounts or for cash pickup at thousands of locations around the world. Don't go to the store and wait in line to send money. Download the
You
Zoom
think
app
that the target market for this scam is dumb people that don't know the government doesn't work this way? No, this is Canada. They're going after people that have been taxed so much, nothing surprises them. The government wants you to go buy some Apple cards and give you the numbers. After a while, you're just brainwashed into this program. Everything is money to the government. Fuck that.
The price will not be changing at midnight. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together. A vehicle rollover on the southbound 404 approaching 16th. Only the left lane is open.
680 News Time 410.
Holiday excitement starts at Best Buy with hot savings on the best tech gifts. This week, save 50% on JBL Truly wireless headphones, only $99.99. Get exciting gifts for everyone on your list at Best Buy.
As a homeowner,
You have built-up equity value in your home. With Capital Direct, equity equals flexibility for homeowners. Flexibility to finance your business, flexibility to renovate your home, or flexibility to pay off other things like property taxes. Call Capital Direct at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. .ca. 96% of existing Capital Direct's clients surveyed would recommend Capital Direct to family, friends, or colleagues. Holiday excitement starts at Best Buy with hot savings on the best tech gifts. This week, save 50% on the 6-quart Instant Pot Ultra Pressure Cooker, only $99.99. Get exciting gifts for everyone on your list at Best Buy.
680 News Time 411.
Traffic and weather together on the ones, Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by Shell. We've got a pair of southbound issues now. One on the 404 southbound, as you've heard, that 16th Avenue, 2 right lanes in the ramp lane blocked with a vehicle on its side involved in collision. So we've got lots of crews on scene here. Intermittently, they're sort of blocking all lanes so that they can try and get tow trucks in position to get the vehicle back on its wheels. As of this moment, all lanes as of this moment, the left lane is open for traffic, but every now and then they're just stopping everybody to try to get tows in position. It's very heavy 404 south from Elgin Mills down to 16th Avenue, so avoid that stretch, and you can do so by choosing any alternate. Leslie Works to the west, or you can use Woodbine to the east. Either one will save you quite a bit of time. If you're traveling the 427 south, we now have a new problem south of Dundas in the Express. The right lane is blocked with a collision, and crews have just arrived on scene here. It's heavy from Bloor in the Express down towards the QE and Gardner ramps. Past that collision, had an issue in the 410 north as you approach Clark. That problem has now cleared, but it's very heavy from Derry up to Clark as a result.
And the damage has been done. We've got volume northbound DDP 404, Bayview Bloor to the 401, Steeles to north of 16th. 400 northbound, heading north of the 401 and off and on up towards the King on route. It's busy on the 427 north as well. Gardner Express, Dundas Collectors to north of Burnhamthorpe, and from the 409 to Finch. And no recent problems east or west of the 401. It's just typically slow in both directions. It's simple to get 50 air miles, bonus miles. Just fuel up 4 times.
You just have to mention it's the same as always slow. Thank you, buddy.
Details at shill.ca/air miles with fuel. Your next reported 421, and with the forecast, here's meteorologist Natasha Ransohai.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the fog out there. It is getting more dense and will continue to do so over the next few hours. So it's not until later this evening, closer to about 10, 11 o'clock, when the wind starts picking up, will dissipate or start to dissipate that fog. Still some isolated showers to get through. That'll linger into tomorrow morning. And we are falling from 9 degrees at 3 a.m. down to 3 degrees by the time you wake up, but continuing to fall to -1, wind chill -7.
So go in the middle of the night, take
for
a
those
walk.
colder afternoon temperatures, and that's going to be cold enough to switch our morning showers over to lake effect snow. Snow squall watches are in place for late Tuesday off to the north of us, including northern York, Durham, 5 to 10, even up to 15 centimeters expected Tuesday night. And flurries will continue here in the city on and off on Wednesday, mainly cloudy with a high of -2. Tonight we are rising to 9 degrees, falling to 3 by morning. It is now 6 degrees at Pearson.
680 news time, 4:13.
Now, the Scotia iTrade Market Minute, the business editors, Richie.
Hey, James, money losing Monday. Here are the closing numbers. The TSX fell 46
I found
points.
tow truck associated violence. It took a month and a half, but we found it.
Did have a big winner today, though, for Canopy Growth. The stock up 14% to $28.17. As Constellation installed its own man to be CEO of the big Canadian pump producer. The Dow down 105 points, a little bit more than 1/3% to 27,909. S&P falling 9 points. NASDAQ down 34. Gold trading at $1,465. $5, and up goes the Canadian dollar to 75.59 cents US. This is 680 News.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
I'm not gonna read it. They're not gonna say this one, I'm sure of it. Like, they're gonna prove me wrong in 2 minutes. There's no. Bullet-riddled pickup truck connected to Richmond Hill shooting. Posted today, like at lunchtime. Police aren't. This truck looks hurt. It's missing a fucking tire and maybe it's the I can't tell. It's holes and shit. Police are investigating after a pickup truck was found with bullet holes at the border of North York and Markham. So just Toronto police were called to Burnt Meadowway near Don Mills Road and Steeles Avenue East just after 10 a.m. Monday. Really? This just happened, eh? Investigators believe the vehicle is related to a shooting in Richmond Hill on Sunday night. In that incident, officers with York Regional Police were called to a parking lot near Highway 404 and Major Mackenzie Drive around 8 p.m. Police said a white pickup truck drove up to 2 parked tow trucks, and the passenger in the pickup started shooting at the driver in one of the tow trucks. The pickup truck was last seen heading southbound on the 404. No injuries were reported. No inch between either fucking party. Police said the vehicle found matches the description of one of the vehicles involved in the shootout. York Regional Police has taken over the investigation. They're not specifying so Richmond Hill, Markham, it's all fucking within fucking minutes to drive. They say it's on the border. I'm just wondering if it's specifically on the north or south side of Steeles. But this truck looks hurt. Fucking, I guess it's that tow truck associated violence they were talking about like a month ago. Oh, fuck, I was trying to avoid sports.
James Bianca Andreescu beat out a deep field and winning the Lou Marsh Award today as the top Canadian athlete of the year, and the vote was unanimous. Breakout season for the young star included wins at the U.S. Open and Rogers Cup. She's currently number 5 in the WTA rankings. Well, it is the richest AAV for a starting pitcher. Steven Strasburg and the Washington Nationals have agreed on a new contract, 7 years and $35 million per season. Now we wait to see what happens with Garrett Cole, and it sounds like he will sign this week. Yankees Yankees and the Angels, the front runners. Raptors have lost 3 straight, and they're in Chicago tonight. The Bulls 8-16 on the year. Sportsnet 590 and Sportsnet will have it at 8. Leafs practicing right now in Vancouver. Trevor Moore is an extra, but he is no longer wearing a red sweater, indicating he could be close. Leafs and Canucks tomorrow. Right now in the Premier League, 57 minutes gone. West Ham holding a 1-0 lead over Arsenal. Eagles can pull even with the Cowboys atop the NFC East as they're in New York to face the Giants tonight. Kickoff at 8:15. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan. 6 News Time 4:18.
Photon.net wants to show you how to make a play this football season. When it feels like the whole country says no, you're asking why not. When everyone and their mother has the favorite, you're taking the underdog. When all of social media says, you got no chance, you say, I got this. When everyone says it can't be done, you're already planning to treat yourself. Don't miss a chance to make a play at Photon.net, your source of free casino games, poker strategy, and live football odds.
In Canada, we have a saying, nothing sticks in winter like a tongue on a metal pole. Ford tire experts have a saying too. When the temperature drops below 7 degrees, nothing helps stick to the road like the right winter tires. So get a grip on winter and avoid getting stuck. Not again. Ooh. Get up to $100 in manufacturer mail-in rebates on select tires. Learn more about our price match promise and rebates at Ford.ca. Some conditions may apply.
6 News Time 4:18. The Ford government's backtracking on planned cuts to legal aid. 6 Richard Southern tells us the change is included in a sweeping justice bill.
After slashing the legal aid budget by $133 million this year, the Ford government is now reversing plans to cut an additional $31 million out next year. Attorney General Doug Downey.
We decided to keep funding at current levels on a go-forward basis. I think it comes from consultation, talking to people. I think people are pleased that we've made a decision to keep funding where it is.
Well, the latest Ford government backtrack is included in a sweeping justice reform bill. It includes other provisions like expanding who can perform marriages in Ontario. There's also some changes when it comes to cyberbullying.
If somebody's passing around intimate images without permission of the individual, this is going to make it easier to sue them civilly once they've been convicted criminally.
The bill passed first reading at Queen's Park today. Richard Southern.
And the Trudeau government following through on its plans to try to reduce income taxes for middle-class and low-income earners.
The motion put forward by the Trudeau government will gradually increase the amount of money you can earn before you have to pay taxes, from $12,000 to $15,000. Finance Minister Bill Morneau says 20 million Canadians will benefit.
Like 21,000 or some shit.
Measure that will put, in the first year, $3 billion more money into middle-class Canadians' pockets. By 2023, families may be taking home up to $600 more per year, but high-income earners will not. The legislation is phasing out the tax breaks for the wealthiest. The changes are scheduled to take effect January 1st, but the Liberals will have to lean on the opposition to pass the motion, which is considered a confidence vote. So if it is defeated, so is the government. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Traffic and weather together next. 6 News Time 4:20.
At Rogers, get business-grade internet solutions like Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365. Now just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Visit Rogers.com/internet-for-biz.
You can make more.
There must have been other incidents like this for them to say tow truck associated violence.
Knows all that is exhausting.
This is the first one I read about.
Covered, and it's a crowd pleaser. All you have to do is take it out of the freezer. We've got delicious, flaky cod that everyone craves, heavenly haddock that no pub can upstage, and a captain that keeps getting better with age. Finally, something that won't cause any stress. Satisfying seafood in 20 minutes or less.
Celebrating 120 years of Highliner seafood. Catch us in the frozen aisle.
At Rogers, get business-grade internet solutions like Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365. Now just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Visit Rogers.com/internet-for-biz.
You can make more.
680 News Time 421.
Traffic and weather together on the One Scott Market.
This report brought to you by 407 ETR. Still this crash on the southbound 404 causing major jam-ups. We've got, as you approach 16th Avenue, 2 right lanes and the ramp lane blocked
with a vehicle that had rolled onto its side, involved in a crash. Only the left lane getting past here, and it is really, really heavy on the 404 South from approaching Elgin Mills to approaching 16th Avenue. Certainly avoid this stretch, take an alternate Leslie or Woodbine, work
20 hours
or really any one you choose. And we're also seeing some major delays east and westbound along Major Mackenzie as things are really jammed up trying to get on and off of the 404 in this area. So that's a spot to avoid as well. Major Mac between Woodbine and Leslie. Northbound DVP and 404. First of all, volume bluer up towards the 401 on the DVP. And then the 404 is heavier than usual with a visual distraction of the southbound issues approaching Steeles up towards 16th Avenue. North of 16th is where it starts to move again. Typical length of volume, but the speeds are slower than usual.
F-150 XLT white Ford crew cab.
In the express, right lane is still blocked with a collision, and it is slow through here.
One window's gone, the other one's got 4 bullet holes in it, plus 2 more.
Volume on the 401 east and westbound, but just volume. Eastbound delays.
Back end's been smashed in like it got T-boned by something with a bull bar on it. And the tire's missing off the back rim like they were driving on it for some time.
There's a delay from McCowan to Markham Road in the collectors, and then east of White's Express.
That makes me want to buy a Ford.
About Harmony Road. West 401, 2 long stretches of delays. Victoria Park.
I don't think they killed that truck. I think they just ditched it.
And about the 410 Express and collectors out to James Snow Parkway. With 24/7 monitoring of 407 ETR's road conditions and crews on standby, you don't have to give up your safe and reliable drive this winter on 407 ETR. Your next report at 4:31 with the extended forecast. Meteorologist Natasha Ranza-Hyde.
All right, so far we've had about 6 to 10 millimeters of rain, another millimeter or so to go tonight. It'll start tapering to isolated showers overnight as temperatures rise to 9 degrees. That'll happen just after midnight. The fog, though, is getting more intense and more dense here as we go through the next few hours. It'll finally start to dissipate as we head towards midnight as the wind picks up. It'll be out of the west-northwest tomorrow up to 50 kilometers per hour. Morning showers switching over to lake effect snow and flurries as temperatures fall from 9 degrees at 3 a.m. down to -2, wind chill -8 by the drive home. And we've got snow squall watches in place for Tuesday and Tuesday night off to the north of us, including northern York, Durham. Wednesday on and off flurries and a high of just -2. And then Thursday should be a dry day, partly cloudy, but it is cold. Morning wind chills near -16. The afternoon high, -3 degrees. Overnight tonight, we are rising to 9 degrees by 3 a.m. It is currently 6 degrees at Pearson.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to learn all about Phase 2. The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario is set to amp up its Work to Rule campaign tomorrow. We'll find out what it means for parents and students straight ahead.
680 News Time, 424.
Love your music, love your turntable. Listening to vinyl records is truly a magical experience. And no matter what your taste in music, a new turntable from Bay Blue Radio is the perfect way to enjoy it to the max. Come to BBR for Toronto's best selection of turntables. Techniques, Riga, Project, and Audio Technica. On sale for the season from $249.
There's only one Bay Blue Radio. The right sound, the right price.
The 680 News Weather Alert.
You'll always know about severe weather instantly.
When you need to know, we've got you covered.
This is 680 News. Coming up in 60 seconds, Christmas news. This is 680 News.
Hello, Alpine Credits.
You're the guys that say, approved, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to lose weight, so I told my buddies I'm going to
approval. I want to call these guys up and say, fuck your money, buddy. Like,
we only approve homeowners for loans, for renovations, consolidating debt, that type of thing.
Perchance or is they?
Oh, listen to your buddies, my friend.
At Alpine Credits, we try to approve all home equity loan applications, regardless of your credit, age, or income. Find out more at alpinecredits.ca. Alpine Credits. Homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
Celebrate the holiday magic this December at Casa Loma during a Nutcracker Christmas at the Castle. Enjoy a host of exciting family activities and performances, including illusionist Professor Wick, Glees on Ice, plus visit Santa's workshop for your photo with Santa and more. The Castle will be dazzling with festive decor and a 40-foot signature tree. And from December 16th to 30th, you can also explore Casa Loma by night as you wander through the lighting display in the gardens. Info and tickets at casaloma.ca.
Time for all Christmas news at 25 minutes past each hour, brought to you by the Illusionists. Magic of the holidays. An Oakville man has once again gone to great lengths to decorate his house for the holidays. Don Jackson's display in McCraney Street near 6th Line features over 70,000 lights, many handcrafted by Jackson himself. The guests are visiting the display
News at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
It's on 426.
Channel 680 Business Report, Richard Saunders.
James, a very good afternoon to you. The alcohol company, known for its popular booze brands, including Robert Mondavi and Kim Crawford wine, as well as Corona beer, is taking a bigger stranglehold on Canada's largest cannabis company. Constellation Brands has announced that its chief financial officer, David Klein, has been appointed as the new CEO of Canopy Growth. Klein is a longtime veteran of the consumer packaged goods industry. He's been with Constellation since 2004. Constellation acquired 38% stake in Canopy and has a deep trust with the bond company's financial performance. In the last quarter, Canopy posting a loss of $670 million. It's been a weight on Constellation, which said that it lost almost $500 million from its investment in Canopy. CIBC analysts say the new CEO should, in its opinion, generate increased interest from institutional shareholders. Canopy stock was up 14% on Bay Street today at $28.17. Meantime, Elon Musk took Tesla's new Cybertruck out for a spin in Los Angeles over the weekend. And then he's got a little hairy. A video published by TMZ shows the billionaire mowing down a right turn only sign while turning left out of a popular sushi restaurant in Malibu. It was the funky looking truck's first voyage on public roads. Tesla shares were higher today. Broader markets were lower, though, owing to economic reports out of China, which were disappointing and which highlighted concerns about a possible global economic recession. The TSX was down 46 points at 16,950. Dow fell 105, a third of a percent to 27,909. S&P down 9 points. The Nasdaq down 32. Gold at $1,465. Canadian dollar higher to 75.56 cents. U.S. top stories are right around the corner on 680 News.
The Great Wall of China is not visible from space. That's a misconception. Another misconception is that La-Z-Boy is all recliners. Yes, La-Z-Boy has the most comfortable recliners. But also sofas, sectionals, love seats, fashionable La-Z-Boy furniture and accessories for your living room, bedroom, and dining room. And designers who will consult in your home for free. The Great Wall isn't visible from space. And La-Z-Boy is not all recliners. Surprise, it's La-Z-Boy.
Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh, yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150, the truck with the Vincentric Award for lowest cost to own in its class. Now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $10,500 in rebates on select new 2019 F-150 models. Get the truck that's built for the long haul. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca. It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Park and Fly. Start your trip at Park and Fly Valet, where you never have to worry about finding a parking spot. Just pull up, check in, and go. Park and Fly Valet. We park, you fly. Visit parkandfly.ca for details.
New York City, rain, high of 13. Vegas, clear, high of 17. We have rain and fog in downtown Toronto, 6 degrees. At Pearson, it's 4:30.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Sledgeana Tominzik and James Monroe. Good afternoon. This is Monday, the 9th of December.
Here's what's making news right now.
Neither side wants to budge.
Now he has the fight he wanted.
Talks of the
This is not your top fucking story.
Ramps up the Work to Rule campaign, and public high school teachers plan another walkout.
The Board of Health approves a dramatic clampdown on the rules for vaping.
Our kids desperately need us to do something on this.
But provincial and federal help is needed to make it happen.
A new weapon is coming to help fight back against those telephone scammers pretending to be someone they are not.
Andreescu victorious again, taking home the Lou Marsh. Fred Van Vliet is questionable for tonight, and the World Series MVP is staying put. Sports at 45.
Walmart apologizing for a questionable Christmas sweater for sale on its website. Disney with a warning about its new Star Wars movie, and the TSX down 46 points. Business at 56.
680 News Time, 4:31.
Traffic and weather together on the One Sound, brought to you by Hamilton International Airport. Here's Jordan Kerr.
Oh, it's not a great drive out there. Very poor visibility conditions. It's hard to see in some places, especially north of the city. So just drive with care, and according to the conditions, and unfortunately, we still have issues on the southbound 404 approaching 16th Avenue. The two right lanes in the ramp lane blocked after a vehicle rolled over earlier. We crashed here. So only the left lane is squeezing by. Crews are all on scene. It's jammed approaching Elgin Mills. Northbound on the DVP 404 combinations, backed up from Bloor to the 401, then north of Finch, jammed up to north of 16th Avenue. Due in part to those southbound issues, everyone's slowing down to take a look. Taking a look, that is. Looking at Woodbine as an alternate, not bad. It's really good for southbound traffic. Northbound Woodbine, very heavy north of the 404 from Steeles up towards Esna Park, and then very heavy north of Highway 7 up to 16th Avenue from the 6 City Traffic Center. Kyle Hawking.
Notice he didn't complain about that one. They're all stopping to take a look. He knows.
The right lane still blocked.
These guys complain about everything else.
From approaching Bloor Express and south of Bloor in the collectors down towards the issue south of Dundas. And we have a new issue affecting the eastbound Gardner. It's the ramp onto the lakeshore as you pass by the DVP. So as you head into the east end, we have the right lane blocked with a stone vehicle on that ramp. Eastbound Gardner slow from the Humber Bridge into the long-term construction right to that lakeshore ramp as a result. See Canada on Swoop Airlines flying nonstop to Abbotsford, Edmonton, Winnipeg, or Halifax. Hamilton International Airport, your low-cost airport. Your next report at 4:41, and with the forecast, meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
All right, visibility will likely still go down a little bit across parts of the GTA as that fog gets more dense over the next couple of hours. It's not until late evening as the wind starts picking up here, we will start to dissipate the fog. Still have a few showers to deal with as well, and that will linger into tomorrow morning. Temperatures rising to 9 degrees around 3 o'clock in the morning, falling to 3 degrees by the time you wake up. But that's not all. It will continue to fall to -2, wind chill -8 in the afternoon. So morning showers will switch over to lake effect flurries. We could be looking at some icy conditions late in the day with the wet roads turning to ice with those dropping temperatures. And snow squall watches have now been hoisted to the north of us, including northern York, Durham for Tuesday night. Overnight tonight, temperatures rising to 9 degrees. It is now 6 degrees at Pearson.
6 City News Time, 4:33.
Time for phase 2. The province's Elementary School Teachers Federation ramping up its Work to Rule campaign starting tomorrow.
6 City's Caitlin Lee is here with what parents and students can expect. Caitlin.
It seems each side here is urging the other to make concessions. The ETFO's next phase means parents won't have letters sent home, teachers won't be collecting money for school programs and events, except charity, and no field trips are going to be planned.
What's that mean? External
Meanwhile, the
shit?
Ford government also confronted about the battle with public high school teachers in question period today.
Thousands of students told the premier they don't want those cuts when they marched out of class in the spring. Well, now he has the fight he wanted, and our kids are paying the price. How does the premier justify that?
NDP education critic Merritt Stiles saying large class sizes and e-learning are the real sticking points with the OSSTF. While Minister Stephen Lecce continues to say it's all about salary.
We're offering a $750 million increase for teachers, the second highest paid in the nation. On average, OSSTF teachers make about $92,000 a year. Speaker, these are our friends and family, our neighbors, our caucus members. We value their contribution, but the taxpayer, the government is being reasonable.
While the ETFO is stepping up its Work to Rule campaign, the OSSTF planning another one-day walkout on Wednesday. High school teachers in the Toronto District School Board are taking part. Reporting live, I'm Caitlin Lee. 6 City News Time, 4:35. Another group is now calling for stricter rules when it comes to vaping. The goal is to bring regulations for e-cigarettes closer in line to those that deal with tobacco products. 6 City's Mona Qureshi.
I don't see how they got away with not being regulated like tobacco in the first place. It's liquid tobacco.
Clampdowns on the rules for vaping, including banning the advertising.
I would have never thought I could have got away with that. I would have done it. How the fuck do you make nicotine fucking vapor?
Part of the calls for change are over the concern and the rise of the amount of kids who are taking part. Board member and TDSB trustee Stephanie Donaldson feels major changes need to be made.
Our kids desperately need us to do something on this.
If I put a bunch of cigarette butts in a spoon and cook it with some water, will that fucking turn into some type of oil you could vaporize? Like, what the fuck?
But many of these major changes can only be made by higher levels of government, so the Board of Health is calling on the province and federal government to take action. At City Hall, I'm Mona Qureshi.
Man, you're not going to talk about all these stories.
Canadian tennis sensation from Mississauga is this country's Athlete of the Year. Sportsnet 590 The Fans, Alex Xero.
That one.
There really was no other option. Bianca Andreescu was always going to win the Lou March, and really it's a perfect ending to what was a near-perfect season. Her 2019 began by having to qualify for an event, but eventually she won Indian Wells and then the Rogers Cup in August when Serena Williams retired from the final, and then came the U.S. Open, where despite nagging injuries, Andreescu powered her way through, and this time beat Serena in the final, doing it the conventional way. Canada finally had a major winner, and her rise in the rankings saw Andreescu jump from 152 to number 4, where she is currently positioned. A tennis player was the Lou March for the first time. From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, I'm Alex Xero.
680 News Time 437. Scam calls appear to be on the rise, so the CRTC is trying to find a way to fight back. 680's Arian Precklin is the latest on the fresh move to keep your phone quiet. Among the most common calls from scammers pretending to be from the Canada Revenue Agency.
I have one of these on
that says you'll be
SoundCloud.
arrested if you don't pay up.
This call is from the tax department.
This sounds like
Canada
mine.
Revenue Agency. The reason behind this call is that there is a case, a lawsuit that is getting filed under your name.
The caller ID on some of those calls looks legit, but that scammer is spoofing the number. Enter a new weapon from Canada's telecom regulator. The CRTC says the new framework will let service providers authenticate and verify the caller ID information. It's expected to be in place by the end of next September. I'm Irene Precklett.
680 News Time 438. Durham drivers now have an easier time getting in and out of the GTA thanks to the brand new highways 418 and the 407 extension that both open today. 680's Cam Dora tells us people in the area, however, feel unfairly targeted by the tolls.
Durham drivers are using the new extension of the 407 and brand new Highway 418, but not all are thrilled to be paying for it. Both new toll roads fully operated by the province, and while drivers expected the cost to be significantly cheaper than the existing stretch of the 407, the difference is about 5 cents a kilometer. Now MPP Jennifer French is calling for the tolls to be lifted on Highway 418 and the 412.
This is for the cars on the highways. They do deserve as much of a clear path as we can give them, and freeing up the 412 and the 418 would help with that flow. So we will continue to push on all fronts.
She's bringing a private members bill forward that's expected to be debated in early
But my
June.
question is,
The
did we
PC party
pay for this
made a
already and you
campaign
just want more money?
to
Like,
remove tolls on the 412 and the 418. I'm Cam Dorrit.
an hour ago, they said
Collision on the
something
southbound
about
427 south of Dundas in the express. Traffic
story
and weather
doesn't appear to
together
be on
next.
this
680 News Time
fucking
439.
Hey, you're that famous actress. You must travel so much. What's the best site for hotel deals? Hilton.com. No. One with crazy savings. Hilton.com.
With their price match guarantee, if you find a better rate, they match it and take 25% off.
No, one with lots of options.
Hilton.com has 16 top hotel brands. Hampton, Hilton Garden Inn, Waldorf Astoria.
Hilton.com. You should totally do their commercial.
Expect better. Expect Hilton.
You're good.
I know, thank you.
Applicable terms and conditions at Hilton.com.
On city streets in Brampton, eastbound Beauvais jammed from Bramalea to east of Torbram because of a collision. In Mississauga, northbound Creditview closed through the 401, and that's for long-term construction. Now, the 680 News gas price update. Emperor predicting the price will not change at midnight. We should stay just under $1.16 a liter.
680 News Time 440.
We're two men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think two men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you want. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're two men and a truck. Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
Connect with an audience of over 200,000 looking to improve their home and garden this year. The GTA Home and Reno Show and the National Home Show are back, and exhibit opportunities are running out. Don't miss this opportunity to grow your business and connect with a qualified audience of homeowners. Act fast and reserve your spot today. Visit TorontoHomeShow.com/exhibit or call 416-644-5405 for more info.
680 News Time 441.
Traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by Pearl Vision. Here's Jordan Kerr.
Southbound on the 404, that issue around 16th Avenue has been cleared away. All lanes are now open. Everything's up the shoulder as well. It's still really heavy approaching Elgin. West side still a good alternate. And after that, southbound on the 404 is slow going, approaching Shepherd down to south of Lawrence and backed up approaching the Gardner. Northbound on the DVP 404 combination, very heavy from Bloor to the 401, then from Finch up to north of 16th Avenue. This is going to remain slow for the rest of the rush hour. And Woodbine northbound, very heavy from Steeles up to Esna Park, and again from the 407 now up to 16th Avenue. From the 680 traffic center, Kyle Hawking.
Ongoing problems on the 427 southbound, south of Dundas and the Express. Right lane blocked with a collision. Crews are on scene. It's heavy approaching Bloor Express and south of Bloor Collectors down to south of Dundas where the problems are. And we also have this eastbound Gardner issue on the ramp to the lakeshore at the DVP. Stone vehicle on the right lane, in the right lane, about halfway down the ramp. So we've got delays coming off the Gardner. It's slow with typical volume east to the Humber Bridge, but right to that lakeshore ramp because of the problem on it. Westbound Gardner is slow DVP off and onto the 427, volume onto the West QEW to Mississauga Road. It's busy Ford plant to Trafalgar and Bronte to the 403 ramp as well. Pearl Vision knows your time is valuable, so they direct bill most insurance plans. Arrange your eye exam at pearlvision.ca or visit any of their neighborhood locations. Your next report at 4:51, and with the forecast, here's meteorologist Natasha Ranzahai.
It looks like this fog is going to linger here for another few hours. It'll start dissipating late this evening as the wind starts to pick up, but definitely slow down. And temperatures rising to 9 degrees by 3 a.m. But don't dress for that 9 degrees. If you see that in your weather app or you hear it here as your high tomorrow, because after 3 a.m., temperatures will be falling through the day to reach -2, wind chill -8 by the drive home. Morning showers will switch over to lake effect.
Okay,
snow
so in the middle, when do we hit zero?
For northern York Durham
Give me
northwards.
zero.
Heaviest
Fuck,
will
I
be
gotta go to the
Tuesday
government
evening,
side.
where 5 to 15 centimeters are possible. And then Wednesday here in the city, on and off flurries with a high of -2, wind chill -9. Tonight, we are rising to 9 degrees by just after midnight. It is currently 6 degrees at Pearson.
680 News Time, 4:43. Now, the Scotia iTrade market managers, Richie.
James, disappointing economic news out of China put a kind of a shadow over the trading session today. The TSX fell 46 points, 0.25%, down to 16,950. The Dow slid 105 to 27,909. S&P 500 down 9 points, about 1/3%. The Nasdaq down 34. No big moves for commodities. Gold up a couple of cents, 1,465 US dollars. The ounce Canadian dollar up 12/100 to 75.56 cents US. You're listening to 680 News.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
Black Friday 101 from Sleep Country. The best way to make your Black Friday.
Hold on, it's December. Are people even still doing Black Friday deals?
Well, Sleep Country is.
I knew that. Carry on.
It's your last chance to save at Sleep Country's Black Friday sale. Plus, get amazing prices on all things sleep, like duvets, pillows, and sheets. And get a Hot by Queen mattress that helps regulate temperature for just $349. Shop online or in store. But hurry, it all ends tomorrow. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
Looking for the best winter vacation deals? Save big with redtag.ca on destinations in the Caribbean, Mexico, or even Europe. Plus, enjoy savings on cruise getaways. Book your trip now and pay for it using our monthly payment plan. And get air miles, reward miles on vacation packages. More travel, more savings. Plan your winter getaway today. So restrictions apply. Redtag.ca.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Rain in downtown Toronto, 8 degrees right now. Good afternoon. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Sljana Tominsik.
Making news right now.
What was that,
field
man?
trips and no letters to
Jesus
take home. The
Christ.
Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario begins phase 2 of its Work to Rule campaign tomorrow. The Toronto Board of Health is in agreement and now needs the provincial and federal governments to help place a ban on vaping in public spaces. And coming up after sports, the man who helped inspire the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has died.
Time now for 680 Sports.
From Sportsnet 590, the fan here is
What ice bucket shit been out?
Janet, it is the first time that a tennis player has won the award. Bianca Andreescu is Canada's Athlete of the Year, taking home the Lou March today. No real surprise as the Grand Slam winner broke onto the scene with a memorable summer. Andreescu began the year 152nd and is now number 5 in the world. Well, Shai Navidi says the Blue Jays are intent on making a run at left-hander Hyunjin Ryu.
You know, will they be able to get there financially? I mean, that's the $1 million question. But in terms of other teams competing for him,
it could change significantly in terms of whether or not the Dodgers get Garrett Cole.
Meanwhile, big news from the winter meetings today. Steven Strasburg is staying in Washington. It's a record 7-year deal at $245 million. Raptors are reminding those that if you're going to Kawhi Leonard's return Wednesday, be in your seat for 6:45. That is when Kawhi will get his ring. Raptors in Chicago tonight with Fred VanVleet questionable.
These rings are ridiculous.
On
I've seen the
Sportsnet
fucking
590 The
thing.
Fan and Sportsnet.
News
Maple Leafs
here.
practiced in Vancouver today. Lines kept the same. They take on the Canucks tomorrow. And the NFL Monday Nighter has the Eagles and the Giants from the Meadowlands at 8:15. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time 446.
This holiday, what if giving also felt like getting? At Indigo, Chapters, and Kohl's, we have incredible gifts that inspire moments. Fabulous books, toys, home decor, and everything else you need to give more magic. Visit us in store or at indigo.ca.
What will your winter vacation sound like this year? Wherever you're heading, be sure to pack CAA travel insurance. From helping you find the nearest hospital to paying emergency medical expenses up front, CAA travel insurance lets you travel worry-free. Plus, CAA members save 10%. So get a quote today before you hear this. CAA, making bad days good and good days better. Terms and conditions apply. CAA travel insurance is underwritten by Orion Travel Insurance Company.
This holiday, make shopping for the perfect gifts easy at indigo.ca. Simply shop online, then pick up in store at any of our locations across the country. For stress-free shopping and sure to please presents, go to indigo.ca.
680 News Time 447. The man who helped inspire the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge
Where
has
did he die
died.
at?
Family of 34-year-old Pete Freites says he died surrounded by loved ones earlier today following a battle with Lou Gehrig's disease. The 2014 Ice Bucket Challenge, which saw participants dump ice water over their heads, managed to raise more than $200 million worldwide. A long-term study of brain development and children's health is taking a look at the relationship between obesity and brain function.
Well, more research needs to be done. The latest information raises questions. Does excess body weight affect the brain, or are eating habits, lifestyle, family circumstances, and genetics to blame? Previous studies in children and adults have had conflicting results, and the new research doesn't really settle the matter. Outside experts caution that misconstruing the information could unfairly extend weight stigma, but an editorial published with the study in JAMA Pediatrics called it an important addition to mounting evidence of a link between weight, brain structure, and mental function. I'm Shelley Adler.
680 News Time 449. It sounds like progress is being made on the new NAFTA, also known as USMCA, and an announcement could come as early as this evening.
You're thinking of the Beastie Boys when they say
now have
that.
a tentative agreement with labor leaders and the White House over a rewrite of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada treaty.
What would they call them everywhere else in the world? You know,
According to a
MCA,
Democratic
US,
aide not
MCA, right.
authorized to discuss the talks. Details still need to be finalized, and the U.S. Trade Representative will need to submit the implementing legislation to Congress. As it stands right now, no vote is scheduled. Now, the new long-sought trade agreement with Mexico and Canada would give both the U.S. president and his top adversary, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a major accomplishment despite the turmoil of the impeachment hearings, and Pelosi would still have to sign off on the accord. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker. Traffic and weather together next, 680 News Time, 4:50.
Hey, Dad, I'm just reading here that the flu can be pretty serious for seniors.
I think I got a flu shot.
My dose actually is 24% more effective than Flu's own standard dose. Your senior dad stays on top of things.
Trendsetter.
Some fucked up shit. Schools on lockdown and shit. Man stabbed in the back in East York. This was posted at 6 in the morning. Says it happened today. Toronto police are searching for a suspect after an overnight stabbing in East York. Police said the victim called 911 himself to report he had been stabbed just after 1 a.m. Monday. I would call a cab. Emergency crews headed to this, or pizza or something. Just order the pizza. What's he going to do? Not give it to you when he gets there and sees you on the ground bleeding? Emergency crews headed to the scene at Dawes Road and Gower Street, south of St. Clair Avenue, and found the victim along on the street. Paramedic, you fuck my head up when you do that. Paramedics said the victim was rushed to a trauma center with a serious stab wound to the back. No suspect description has been released, and there has been no word on what led to the stabbing. in the back for no apparent reason. I don't want to tell you it was for no apparent reason, but that's the type of shit that happens sometimes. I don't want to get too deep into it, but there is a school that was, well, the headline is that it is no locked. The URL says locked down, but the headline says lockdown lifted at a school after some dude came in there with a knife. But they did not find him, period. There's not guns, there's knives everywhere. These people shooting at each other, they're not shooting at me, as far as I know. Fucking, I mean, maybe so, I don't give a fuck, but like, this shit I'm reading about, they're fucking, go ahead, shoot each other. Just do it somewhere you're not gonna hit me. Do it somewhere you're not gonna hit other people. What the fuck do I care, man? They're gonna fucking stab each other, cut each other, poison each other, something, hit you with a truck, something's gonna happen anyway, and it's just gonna fucking blow up all over the place if you try and fucking stop this shit. This is my opinion. I'm not in charge, so it doesn't fucking matter if you like it. Fuck, I'm not even looking at the story, I'm thinking of it.
The 404 now slow approaching Steeles off and on towards Stillville Road after those issues southbound cleared volume as well, improving southbound. Need last minute money for the holidays? Lower credit score? Put the equity in your car or home to work for you and get a great rate on a same-day loan. Go to prudentfinancial.net. Your next report at 5:01 with the extended forecast. Meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
Yes, it's definitely getting colder in the extended forecast. It all starts tomorrow. But tonight, temperatures are on the rise to 9 degrees by about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The fog and the rain is ongoing.
When will it be zero?
Likely gets a little bit more dense over the next few hours. Start to dissipate overnight tonight. And morning showers will then switch over to lake effect snow tomorrow as temperatures fall from 9 degrees down to -2, wind chill -8 by the drive home. Lake effect snow could even impact that drive home tomorrow in the city of Toronto. We've got snow squall watches posted for northern York, Durham northwards. And then Wednesday, still some on and off flurries. A little bit windy as well out of the west, and a high of just -2, wind chill -9. Thursday morning, dress for wind chills of -16. It'll be partly cloudy with a high of -3. Tonight we are rising to 9 degrees by 3 a.m. and then falling back to 3 degrees by the morning. I know it's a complicated forecast. It is currently 6 degrees out of Pearson.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Cold Drops.
One drop for temporary relief of sore throat and nasal congestion.
Cold Drops.
Cold Drops are available at Metro pharmacies near you. This product may help you if you always read and follow the label.
Coming up at 5, the province's elementary school teachers are ready for the next step in their Work to Rule campaign, and Toronto could be the next GTA
This cold
city
display
to ban
shit won't
vaping
work
in
for
outdoor
landlines or mobile phones.
So what the fuck uses it? Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150, the truck with the Fincentric Award for lowest cost to own in its class. Now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $10,500 in rebates on select new 2019 F-150 models. Get the truck that's built for the long haul. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
When you need to know. Breaking news. A major political bombshell on the campaign trail. Traffic. FTO still has cleaned us up. And it's jammed from approaching Major Mackenzie to approaching Steeles as people avoid getting flat tires.
You don't need any rain gear this morning, but through the afternoon, make sure you have that umbrella handy.
When you need to know.
So even their sound bites are just random fucking weather. It's not the same weather for more than like 3 hours ever, 2 hours.
York Victoria Park Collegiate Institute in the Vic Park and Newark Mills area was locked down today for about 45 minutes following reports of a man with a knife on school grounds and possibly inside the building. Constable Alex Lee tells 680 News the all clear came after police went room to room.
They've done a thorough search of the school grounds and inside the school. I've been advised from the units on scene that the school is now cleared. There is no threat to the students or the staff at the school.
No one was located, though. Police say it's unclear if this was a hoax or if the person who called police mistook what they saw. Business is next.
What? 680 News Time, 4:55.
Need more dough for
What do
your
you mean they
bakery?
might have been
Thinking Capital
fucking hell, eh? What a
Radio.
fucking way to
Wanna
end the
give your
fucking
beauty
story.
salon a
You
makeover?
could say that about every fucking story.
Does your auto
They
shop
might have
need
misinterpreted
boost?
what they saw, really?
ThinkingCapital.ca/radio. Whatever small business you run, they can help. Apply for a small business loan today at thinkingcapital.ca/radio. You can receive.
You should have found a guy that at one point had a knife and would have said, hey, that might have been me. And fucking, but you didn't. That doesn't make sense.
That easy. At Rogers, a new year means new possibilities for your business. When you choose business-grade wireless solutions, right now, get iPhone XR 64 gig, featuring a 6.1-inch liquid retina LCD display for just $0 on a 3-year business share plan. With Rogers, you get the technology, expertise, and support your business deserves. Don't miss out. Visit Rogers.com/plans for biz now. Rogers, make doing business on the go possible.
You can make mine.
Executive News Time, 456.
Channel 680 News Business Report. Here's Richard Southern. Good evening. Walmart saying sorry today for making available a Christmas sweater online with an apparent drug reference. The sweater featured an image of Santa Claus behind a table with 3 white lines that look similar to cocaine. Below the image, the phrase, "Let it snow."
Somebody has to bootleg that shirt.
The drugged-out Santa sweater was sold by a third-party seller on Walmart's website and not by the retailer directly. Still, Walmart's apologized. It's pulled it down. And, it's not the first time a third-party seller has kind of brought some shame to a big retailer. Just last week, Amazon was forced to pull down Christmas ornaments that featured the Auschwitz concentration camp. Those two were being sold by a third-party seller on Amazon. Walmart stock little change today, just about $119 US. Meantime, Disney is warning Star Wars fans to watch out. The new Star Wars movie may be dangerous to some, it says. The movie said to feature a number of sustained light flashing sequences, which could trigger seizures with some people who suffer from epilepsy. Disney has alerted the Epilepsy Foundation, but hasn't specified exactly which scenes may be of concern. Disney getting some praise about this from the Epilepsy Foundation. It was criticized, the company, last year for not notifying viewers about strobe and flashing lights in Pixar's Incredible 2 movie. Disney stock little changed close to a record $146 US and change. Broader markets slower today with some negative economic news out of China, which heightened concern about a possible global economic recession. Data out of Beijing showed China's exports unexpectedly dropping more than 1% in November. Shipments to the U.S. down a whopping 23%. TSX fell 46 points on the day to 16,950. Big winner for Canopy Growth, though, up 14% as it gets its new CEO, the current CFO at Canopy at Constellation Brands. The Dow up 105 points, check that down, falling 105 points to 27,909. S&P down 9. NASDAQ down 34. Canadian dollar trades at 75.55 cents US. This is 680 News.
What? This is where we were an hour ago, man.
For the best appliance deal ever, come into Gomez today. You'll save up to 25% on all Eco appliances. Yep, that's 25%
I wait 60 seconds on my ears. They got me. I know they're going to say something about something. I want to hear about this bullet riddle pickup truck.
Well, they've ever been. Energy savings rebate by the Government of Canada. Visit Gomez.com for
I want to hear
details.
more of it.
Every Volvo is thoughtfully made with you and your family in mind. Designed to spoil with unprecedented luxury and Scandinavian craftsmanship. And with legendary safety features that come standard, you can help protect what matters most. The Volvo Family Event is the perfect time to get the vehicle your family deserves. Lease or finance at 2.9% and receive a holiday bonus of up to $4,000 on select models.
It feels weird driving a Volvo, but I can't put my finger on why.
Now, 680 News.
It's too safe. I know I couldn't get hurt in that car without trying to do it on purpose.
Marquee Jewelers, get up to 70% off select merchandise for that special someone in your life. 2 Bloor Street West inside the Cumberland Terrace.
Mostly overcast in Oshawa, 5 degrees. Mississauga, rain and 5 degrees. Downtown Toronto, light rain and 8. 680 News Time, 5 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are James Monroe and Slijana Tominzik.
Good afternoon. It's Monday, December 9th.
Here's what's making news this hour. Teachers in Ontario doubling down this week. Elementary teachers entering phase 2 of a Work to Rule campaign tomorrow, while high school instructors are still planning another one-day walkout.
The Board of Health
So you like technically going to be on strike during Christmas or something?
Our kids desperately need us to do something on this.
But provincial and federal help is needed to make it happen.
Could be a snowy Tuesday on the way for North York and Durham regions. The snow squall watch is out. Full traffic and weather in seconds.
Hold up, I live right near North York. Yeah, that's like, where is the border for the weather? I'm going to assume that it's going to affect me. I'm going to assume it's going to affect me. We'll be on a half-hour delay. I'll get the same weather.
Down 46, business at 26.
I love it, but it's fucked up there.
Traffic and weather together on the world brought to you by Shun Yun. Here's Jordan Kerr.
What does Shun Yun do? Oh, the fucking
approaching Nielsen and the collectors. Part of the ramp lane and the right shoulder blocked off. This might actually be a crash. A couple of vehicles here. There's a tow on scene. Eastbound 401 is slow. Winston Churchill here, Ontario. From
more than one together, apparently, to start shooting, man.
Over the 427 to Victoria Park and the Express, and to Kennedy and the collectors, and then backed up from McCowan and the collectors to approaching Nielsen, where we have this issue in the part of the ramp lane blocked and the right shoulder. After that, into Durham, East 401, very heavy, approaching White's Express, Liverpool collectors to east of Ritson, westbound 401 heavy from Fixon to Salem through Kennedy and the collectors, then from the 404 to west of the 427, alternately Express and collectors, and from the 410 on and up to west of Highway 25. From the 680 Traffic Center, Kyle Hawking.
Well, we just had a brief problem on the southbound 404, just south of the 407, moved to the shoulder. Only one vehicle's left here. It's still slow from approaching Elgin Mills to south of the 407, mostly because of the earlier issues, and then again Finch to south of Lawrence. North DVP delay, Bloor up to the 401, and the westbound Gardner is slow to downtown DVP off and onto the 427 without a noticeable break really in that volume. Southbound 427 issues south of Dundas and the Express have cleared, so off and on delays south of the 401 down towards Dundas. We've also got an issue affecting the eastbound Gardner on the ramp to the lakeshore as you pass by the DVP, so right at the very eastern edge of the Gardner. The right lane is blocked with a stalled vehicle, so it is slow from east to the Humber Bridge out towards the DVP and just beyond it onto that lakeshore ramp. Sold out every year. Shen Yun returns to Hamilton, Mississauga, and Toronto December 30th. Celebrate the new year with beauty, energy, and wisdom. Tickets at shenyun.com. Your next report at 5:11 with the forecast meteorologist Natasha Ranzai.
All right, we are looking at some fog here, especially across the north and eastern sections of the GTA. That's where it will linger the longest, and it won't be until closer to about 11 p.m. it'll start to dissipate. Temperatures are mild, though. We're rising to 9 degrees by 3 a.m., but then we start the downfall, dropping to -2, wind chill -8 by the afternoon. We've got some morning isolated showers, windy conditions, and those showers will switch over to lake effect snow. Could even impact the drive home across parts of the GTA tomorrow afternoon. Snow squall watches have been posted for northern York or Durham northwards. Overnight tonight, we are rising to 9 degrees. It is currently 6 degrees at Pearson. 680 News Time 5:03.
Well, about 80,000 public elementary teachers and support workers will be taking it to the next level tomorrow.
680's Caitlin Lee joins us live with the latest on phase 2 of their Work to Rule campaign. Caitlin. And Slijana, what it means is parents of elementary school teachers won't be receiving letters sent home. Teachers won't be planning field trips, purchasing supplies on their own time, or performing administrative duties. But the ETFO is not the only union putting pressure on the government with contract talks, as the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation plans another one-day walkout Wednesday. Only a handful of schools are taking part this time, but one of them is the Toronto District School Board. In question period today, Education Minister Stephen Lecce said public high school teachers need to be reasonable with their salary demands.
The FROS-STF, if they don't get their demands, including a $1.5 billion increase in compensation, if they do not get their demands, they are prepared to walk out again. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, parents in this province, they see that as unacceptable, and it's government.
Their reasoning to stop collecting money for school activities is very petty, because that money is literally what they use to take kids out and do shit with.
Education workers are all saying the same thing. Larger classes, fewer courses will be bad for students.
And to run out this mess of stalled school contract talks, just a reminder, Ontario Catholic school teachers will also be in a legal strike position. on December 21st.
Either
Reporting
third
live,
or
5
fourth
people
strike since August or so, September around there.
Brampton and Mississauga, and how it regulates vaping. The Board of Health today voting unanimously for it to be banned in public spaces, but the vote now needs support from the provincial and federal governments to become law.
The call is to put vaping under the same rules as tobacco. Dr. Eileen Davila is Toronto's medical officer of health. She says the reason for this push is the recent rash of deaths and illness connected to vaping.
So that certainly has, focused attention in a way that it perhaps wasn't as focused before.
The board unanimously approving calls for the ban of advertising of vaping products, the sale of flavored vapes, and restricting where it can be sold. But Davila says the city doesn't have the ability to make those changes.
Really does rest largely with our provincial counterparts and with the federal government as well.
She's hoping the higher governments will take action to make those changes soon. At City Hall, I'm Omen Qureshi.
680 News Time, 5:06. This portion of the news brought to you by Simply Smart Home. There could be a new tool on the way to help you hang up on telephone scammers. Here's 680's Irene Preclip. Chances are you've had that
But not
CRA
for
call
landlines
from
or
scammers
mobile
telling them
phones.
you
How the
owe
fuck
money,
are you
and
supposed
if you
to?
don't pay up.
If I don't hear a call from you, we will have to
This is
issue an
the
arrest
same one I
warrant under
got.
your name and get you arrested.
With some of those
I'll never be able to
calls,
prove they took it from my
caller ID
SoundCloud,
looks
but that's the
legit,
same
even
one
though
I
the
got.
call is not. The CRTC says a new system coming towards the end of next year could help. It would verify whether the incoming call is legit. The regulator
Ask me,
says
I
about
would've emailed them the
40% of the
fucking file or
complaints it
something.
receives each year are about caller ID spoofing. The new technology is already used in parts of the U.S. I'm Irene Preclip.
680 News
Give
Time,
it the fuck
5:07.
these
Officials
people.
in New Zealand tonight say it's too dangerous to launch a search and rescue operation after a deadly volcanic eruption. 5 people killed on White Island, a popular tourist destination. Another 8 people
This
still
is the
missing.
name and the number
From the
of
Prime
some
Minister,
fucking
those
company,
8 people are
and it's
presumed
real,
dead.
but the company's a fraudulent fucking company. What the fuck difference does it make if it's a real phone number?
Have undertaken a number of aerial reconnaissance flights over the island since the eruption. No signs of life have been seen at any point.
Another 34 people were hurt, some critically with severe blast and burn injuries. No Canadians are listed among the dead or missing.
Drivers in Durham region have 2 new options for getting around, but they have to pay to use them. One MPP wants the government to remove those tolls from highways 407 and the 418. Here's 680's Cam Dorrit.
It was a campaign promise from the PC party and a fight that the NDP has now taken up. Removing tolls from Highway 412 and the new 418 that is open. Jennifer French is the MPP for Oshawa and says people in her region feel unfairly targeted by the new tolls.
We have these beautiful new open roads that are there to help people get to work, get home, get where they need to go and keep moving. And unfortunately, we have targeted tolls just at the folks in the Durham area, and it doesn't allow them to be utilized the way they could, and people are frustrated.
Now she's bringing forward Private Member Bill number 43 to remove tolls from the new Highway 418 and the existing 412. With the debate slot expected in early June, a petition is live on the NDP website for anyone interested. I'm Cam Dorrit.
Coming up in 30 seconds, latest problems on the streets. We'll see what's happening, if anything, at the pumps.
680 News Time, 5:09.
This is 680 News. Simply Smart Home makes it easy to own a Google Home Mini for free. Simply Smart Home is the #1 Google Nest Pro dealer in Canada.
No. Electronics are not just free,
thousands of Google Home
like
Minis
ever.
across Ontario. Eligible Ontario homeowners will receive 1 free Google Home Mini per household. Supplies are limited. Visit freemini.ca
You
to
wanna know,
register
like, my
today.
political
That's
leanings and
freemini.ca.
shit like that?
Promotion is valid for Ontario homeowners only. No purchase necessary. Google Home Mini is provided at no cost. Google and Google Home Mini are trademarks of Google LLC.
City Streets, Williams Parkway jam westbound for approaching Dixie to the 410 because of a collision, and in Schaumburg, Highway 9 remains closed from 20 the side road to Leonard for fire investigation. Heavy delays along the detour.
City Streets was brought to you by CapitalDirect.ca. Low rates save money for homeowners.
Now, 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will not change at midnight. It's about $1.15.9 a liter at most stations. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together. Crash on the eastbound 401 approaching Nielsen. Collectors blocking part of the right lane. 680 News Time, 5:10.
The weather definitely does have a part to play. We do see more deaths on the streets.
during the winter months. People trying to stay warm and not necessarily in the safest situations. And when they see the Salvation Army, they know that they're going to get help. Through working with us, the goal is that they will come to know hope.
On the coldest nights, Bradley Harris is there because everyone needs an army. Donate now at salvationarmy.ca or call 1-800-SAL-ARMY.
Tis the season of doing and seeing and frosting, and highliner knows all that is exhausting. So dinner is covered, and it's a crowd pleaser. All you
I don't know
have
where
to
they get
do
all the
is take
food
it out of
from.
the freezer. We've got
If you got
delicious
food, you might give
flaky
them some.
cod that everyone craves. Heavenly haddock
Yeah,
that no
food banks,
pumpkin
shelters,
upstage,
fucking
and a captain
what they
keeps
used to.
getting
I
better with
call it a
age.
soup. I always use the
Finally,
term soup
something that
kitchen,
won't
which
cause
sounds
any
rude,
stress.
but they used to call them
Satisfying
bread lines
seafood
and
in
soup
20
kitchens,
minutes or
whatever.
less.
Celebrating 120 years of Highliner Seafood. Catch us in the frozen
Whatever
aisle.
they're doing, they're spending that money, some of it at least, on feeding
6
people.
News Time 511.
Traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Toronto Retail Group. Here's Jordan.
Well, problems on the eastbound 401 approaching Nielsen and the collectors are escalating. We now have the right lane and the ramp lane fully blocked, all because of a crash. Emergency crews are arriving on scene. There's already an ambulance and a fire truck there. Eastbound 401 is slow. Winston Churchill, here, Ontario, from the 410 to east of Dixie and the collectors, and backed up from the 427 to Markham Road and the Express, and to approaching Nielsen and the collectors because of this crash. Into Durham, eastbound 401 is slow going from Whites Road and the Express, approaching Liverpool collectors through to east of Ritson. On the eastbound 409, very heavy from Martin Road to the 401 Rams. From the 680 traffic center, Kyle Hawking.
Volume heading out of downtown and the DVP northbound, Bloor up to the 401. 404 delay still pretty busy approaching Steeles to north of Stouffville Road. It was a southbound issue that caused the visual distraction, so heavier than usual traveling northbound. And also southbound, south 404, south of the 407, there's an issue on the shoulder, stalled vehicle sitting there all by itself. It is slow from approaching Major Mac down to the 407 because of not only this problem, but the earlier issue we had, and then busy again, Finch to south of Lawrence. Volume both directions.
Bro,
on the Gardner.
which of the earlier issues,
above the
bro?
Humber Bridge to the Lakeshore ramp just past the DVP. We had a stolen vehicle on that ramp that has now been cleared away, so that should help. Westbound Gardner, slow DVP to west to Strawn, park side of the 427 and onto the West QEW to Mississauga Road. The best gift just got better at Mercedes-Benz Toronto retail stores. Receive a 1% rate reduction on 2015 to 18 certified pre-owned models, and then 3 payments waived. Details at mbtoronto.ca.
It'll be minus 12 this time. Or maybe 11. The wind might be 50, up to maybe 70.
Thanks very much. The fog, especially dense north and east ends of the GTA. And it will be the east end that will be the last to clear and dissipate that fog out later this evening. Overnight tonight, as the winds start picking up, we are going to rise to 9 degrees by about 3 in the morning. And then we start to fall. By the drive home tomorrow, we'll be back down to -2, wind chill -8. So please dress the kids accordingly. And morning showers will switch over to lake effect flurries. And then snow squalls are going to start picking up Tuesday evening. We've got some snow squall watches in place for northern York, Durham northwards, 5 to 15 centimeters possible. And some of that lake effect snow could impact the drive home across parts of the 416 tomorrow afternoon. Wednesday, flurries and -2. Tonight we're down to, or actually not down, we are rising to 9 degrees. It is currently 6 degrees at Pearson. 680 News Time, 5:13.
Now, Scotia iTrade Market Minutes at the Business Center, Richard Southern.
Kicking off the new week of trade with some
The
losses.
building not know
Some
it's hot
disappointing
outside,
economic
it's
news out
90
of
in it.
China.
It's literally
The Bears
90
today.
and
We had the
streets
TSX
are
fall at
It's
46
like 90
points.
and a half.
16,950. Dow falls 105 to 27,909. S&P down 9 points. NASDAQ down 34. We did see a rally for the cannabis stocks on Bay Street, owing largely to Constellation Brands appointing its CFO to be the new CEO of Canopy Growth. Canopy stock up 14% on that news. Canadian dollar at 75.55 cents US. That's your market minute. This is 680 News.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaittrade.com/winter20.
It's your December Casino Rental Resort concert announcement. Honeymoon Suite in Prism, February 28th. Chilliwack and Streetheart on March 13th. Frankie Valley, March 21st to 22nd. April 10th and 11th with the Beach Boys. Melissa Etheridge, April 17th. Local legend Gordon Lightfoot performs April 18th. Illusionist Rick Thomas, April 24th. Charlie Pride on April 25th. And Ringo Starr and his all-star band, May 29th and 30th. Tickets go on sale this Saturday through Ticketmaster. More information at casinorama.com.
You're too depressed to work, and your insurance company ignores your doctor's opinion and denies your long-term disability claim. Sound familiar?
My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your disability claim has been denied for any reason, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, my team of lawyers only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878.
I'm going to call you and ask some questions, and we're going to do this live. I'm going to get your cell phone number somehow, your house number or some shit. I'm going to call your ass.
The GTA, some fog, 7 degrees at Pearson. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center.
The police looked at my butt. Is that sexual assault or sexual harassment?
Phasing in phase 2. The
Can't
elementary teachers
sue them for that, Mr. Van
It's Work to Rule campaign tomorrow. It's 80,000 teachers and support workers. We're finding out what it means for parents and students. A snow squall watch out for Northern York and Durham regions. We could see some significant accumulation tomorrow into the evening. Full traffic and weather in seconds.
I was just getting ready for fucking wind and fog and fucking high and low temperatures.
Guys, it was a unanimous vote. Bianca Andreescu has won the Lou March as
that's a sideways tornado with snow.
Of the year, she lost just 4 complete matches all season, and her victories included Indian Wells, Rogers Cup, and the U.S. Open. She won a perfect 8-0 against players ranked in the top 10. We have movement for baseball's winter meeting. Steven Strasburg staying put with the Nationals on a record contract, 7 years and $245 million. We do get the feeling Garrett Cole will sign this week as well.
Fuck the sport. So Toronto's, fuck the people ask about the violence and things. Toronto's violence is technically getting less, but it's random. First 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning on a Monday, this truck shows up. Sunday night, there's a shootout between tow truck drivers. What the fuck?
Sportsnet. Maple Leafs practice in Vancouver
right on the border between 3 different cities and shit. Like they're trying to fuck with jurisdictional shit. Or maybe they just hang out there. That's a fucked up place to hang out, man.
A scratch tomorrow. A 3-point to Arsenal beating West Ham.